Hi, it's Susan Milner with Florida Future Realty again. Today I want to talk about short sales from a buyer aspect. I just want to make sure you understand what a short sale means. A lot of people are not in this area where, most people locally here have heard of a short sale and kind of have a good idea of what it means. A short sale just means that that seller owes more on the property than it's currently worth. So either the listing agent, a third-party negotiator, an attorney, or the seller is going to negotiate with the lender to allow them to sell the property for less than what was owed. And the seller may have to make up some of that difference financially, a promissory note, cash at closing, or they may not have to make up the difference. The lender may just agree to it if their hardship is substantial. So it really doesn't matter to you that it's a short sale as the buyer, but you just need to know that it could take a little bit of time, and it could be the answer could come back eventually no. So you could wait 2, 3, 4 months and the bank could just say no, we're not interested. They may not give you a reason, they may not give you anything in writing. Unfortunately, they could just say no. Or they could go back and say yes, but we're looking for a deficiency judgment to be signed, or a promissory note to be signed, or the deficiency judgment is going to remain open. And the seller could say, well, I'm not going to sell it then. So there are things that could come about where you wouldn't be able to purchase the property. That's why you really need a good agent working for you that understands the process, that can explain things to you, can ask the right questions, and can make sure that the listing agent or whoever is handling that listing is doing everything they can to facilitate this transaction. If you are a buyer for a home and you've been looking at short sales and you may have some questions as to why you would purchase a short sale, or maybe why you would not be a good candidate to purchase a short sale, one thing to keep in mind are that short sales could take a while to get an approval and actually close. If you see a short sale that says pre-approved or can close quickly, you may not have to deal with that, but it could still take 2 to 4 weeks to get a new approval for the new buyer. For a typical short sale, once you put in an offer and the seller accepts it, and then you have a contract contingent upon lender approval, you could be looking at anywhere from 30 to 120 days for an answer. I've heard some horror stories of 8 months, 12 months even. Working with you as a buyer, if we didn't have an answer within 60 to 90 days, I would probably say, let's get out of this contract and move on and look for something else, because I don't really feel confident about this. And again, it's depending upon what the listing agent is conveying to me. If there's certain issues, have they had to resubmit certain documents, what's going on that's being the challenge for the delay. Sometimes we've had some that just, for whatever reason, take a little longer. But generally speaking, I would be able to tell, as a listing agent, tell the buyer's agent, here's what's going on. I'm hoping to have an answer within this time frame, or this is unusual, or, I have no idea. It might be a year. If they hear something like that, they might just want to move on. That agent may not know what they're doing. One other thing to keep in mind is how many offers is the seller going to accept. Our rule is that they're only going to accept one, and that would be the contract, and that would be the contract that we submit to the lender. However, there are agents that will take multiple contracts and submit them to the lender. That's very confusing. It jumbles up the whole lender ability to make a decision. It's going to take a lot more time, and now you're sitting there with you and 3, 4, 5 other buyers not knowing where your offer lies, and you're going to wait 30 to 60 to 90 days to find out. I don't really think many buyers are going to want to do that. So you want to make sure that your offer is the only contract that's going to go to the bank. Our Florida short sale addendum, actually line number 5, says that the seller can accept multiple contracts, which I think is bad. We tell buyers to cross that out, initial it, and as long as the seller initials it, then that change has been taken into effect. So you want to make sure that they're not taking multiple offers. If you're an investor, or if you don't really care, maybe you are going to put multiple offers out there, just make sure that there's verbiage to get yourself out of the contract if that's what you're going to do. And maybe at that point you don't care if there's 10 other offers on it. But if you're a home buyer that wants to live in the house, that's buying a home because you love it, you want to make sure that you're the only contract going to the lender. So that's it in a nutshell. So again, my name is Susan Milner with Florida Future Realty, and I can be reached at 239-542-8521, or you can stop by the office anytime. We're in Cape Coral at 2816 Del Prado Boulevard South in Unit 2, and you can also visit us online at www.theextremeteam.com with dashes, so the-extreme-team.com, or you can go to floridafutureagents.com for our contact information as well.